Hello everybody. Let us discuss about the different tests to be conducted on self-compacting concrete. The test to be conducted for self-compacting concrete workability properties can be categorized into three categories. One is filling ability test. The second one is passing ability test. And the third one is segregation resistance test. To check the filling ability of self-compacting concrete, slump flow test, T50 centimeter slump flow test, or sometimes it is also called T500 millimeter slump flow test. Then RMAT test, V-funnel test can be conducted. Similarly, to check the passing ability of self-compacting concrete, L-box test, J-ring test, U-box test, and fill box test can be conducted. Likewise, to check the segregation resistance of self-compacting concrete, V-funnel test at T5 minutes and GTM screen stability test can be conducted. Right. Now we will see the guideline for self-compacting concrete. There is an organization in Europe called FNARC. They are also the experts for specialized construction and concrete system. That is, FNARC is the European Federation dedicated to special construction chemicals and concrete systems. They give the guidelines for self-compacting concrete specification, production and use. Therefore, the procedures given in FNARC can be taken as the guideline to ensure the compliance to self-compacting concrete requirements. Now we will discuss about the slump flow test, which also includes T50 centimeter or T500 millimeter slump flow test. Slump flow test will give us the flow ability of the fresh concrete mix under gravity without any obstructions. This test method is somewhat similar to normal concrete slump test. This is a simple and quick method of test. It can be used on site also. Only thing is we need a level ground at the site to perform this test. Another one is carrying the base plate to the site because the size of the base plate is somewhat wide. This slump flow test method is the most commonly used test. Making use of this method, we can easily assess the filling ability of the concrete. This test will not give any indication of the ability of the concrete to pass between the reinforcement, but it will give the indication of segregation resistance. Now we will see the equipment used for slump flow test. For this test also, the same conventional slump cone having the top diameter 100 millimeter, bottom diameter 200 millimeter and the height 300 millimeter can be used. The base plate size should be minimum of 700 millimeter in square shape. The material of the base plate should be made up of stiff and non-absorbing material. There should be a marking of concentric circle of 500 millimeter diameter from the center of the base plate. The other accessories required for this particular test are scoop, trowel, scale and stopwatch. This picture shows an example of a typical base plate used for slump flow test. Before the start of the test, a concentric circle of 500 mm diameter from the center of base plate should be drawn using temporary marker. This is must. In addition, we may draw some other circles of 550 mm, 600 mm, 650 mm diameters depending upon the requirements. Then the slump cone should be placed exactly at the center of the base plate. Slump cone can be placed like normal position, or sometimes it can also be placed in an inverted manner. Nothing wrong in it. Scoop can be used to take the fresh concrete and fill into the slump cone. Trowel can be used to strike off the top surface and level the fresh concrete in the slump cone. To measure the flow diameter and the time taken to reach the final position of concrete, scale and stopwatch can be used. How to perform this slump flow test? First, slightly make the top of the base plate and inside of slump cone wetness, maybe using crude oil. Then place the base plate over the leveled ground surface. Now place the slump cone at the center of base plate. Fill the fresh concrete into the slump cone using scoop in a gentle manner. At this time, we should not tamp the concrete. Once it is filled, level the top surface, simply striking off the concrete using the trowel. Remove the excess concrete around the base of the cone and the base plate and clean it immediately. Now, raise the cone vertically and allow the concrete to flow freely. We have to start the stopwatch in parallel while starting the lifting of the cone. We have to record the time taken for the concrete to reach the 500 mm diameter spread circle. The time taken by the concrete to reach 500 mm diameter circle is called T500 or sometimes called T50 time. T500 means time taken by the concrete to reach 500 mm diameter circle, and T50 means time taken by the concrete to reach 50 centimeter diameter circle. Both are one and the same only. This T50 time is only a secondary indication. That means it gives no indication of flow of the ability of the concrete to pass between the reinforcement without blocking. But it may give some indication of resistance to segregation. If T50 time is low, then there will be a greater flowability. In general, it is suggested that a time of 3 to 7 seconds is acceptable for civil engineering applications. At the end, we have to measure the final diameter of the concrete in two perpendicular directions. Then calculate the average of the two measured diameters. This is called the slump flow in millimeter. Here we have to note that any border of the mortar or cement paste without any coarse aggregate at the outer edge of the concrete. In this figure, the left hand side first picture, that is this one, shows before the test. The center picture shows at the end of the test. See that there is no coarse aggregate at the outer edge of the circle. Right hand side, the last figure shows the measurement of slump flow at one direction. The same way, perpendicular to this direction, one more measurement to be taken for result analysis. Now, let us see how to interpret the results. Slump flow, they used to say in short form SF. If the SF value is higher, the greater is the ability to fill under its own weight. A SF value of at least 650 millimeter is required for self-compacting concrete. Basically, there are three classes of slump flow. If SF values lies between 550 to 650 millimeter, then it is classified as SF1. If it is lies between 660 to 750 millimeter, then it is classified as SF2. And if it is lies between 760 to 850 millimeter, then it is classified as SF3. To conclude, this slump flow test is mostly used for finding the segregation resistance of self-compacting concrete. In case of severe segregation, most of the coarse aggregate will remain in the center of the base plate and mortar and cement paste at the outer edge of the concrete circle. Suppose if it is minor segregation, then a border of mortar without coarse aggregate can occur at the outer edge of the concrete circle. If these phenomena are not appear, then also it is not 100% guarantee that segregation will not occur at the site, because this is a time related aspect that may happen after a long period also. I hope this lecture may provide some idea about the conduct of slump flow test for self-compacting concrete and its significance. Thank you.